And so if you look back to your experience with the NameStormers, now that you've had Health Yes out in the marketplace for a while, are there any conclusions that you would draw about, hey, I was disappointed with the way the NameStormers handled the engagement, or I feel very comfortable recommending them to somebody else, or here was the biggest takeaway or the biggest surprise that I had in working with them?
I personally don't recommend people. It's one of those life experience things. Throughout my existence, you come across a great coworker or a friend or something you recommended to somebody, and I've had many of those blow up in my face. And so I feel it reflects negatively on me. So for me to recommend anybody is an extremely rare event. The reason I say that is because this company has been around for 2 years now. And I can safely say no less than 10 times have I recommended NameStormers as the naming company of choice. I believe if you go to the NameStormers website, there's actually a quote of me saying that, this is the company, if you're looking for a brand, it's who you should call. I truly believe that. If I was starting another company today, NameStormers would be one of my first phone calls. They came into our office. Well, it was virtual. They came in over the phone. They provided their offering at a price that nobody even could come close to. They told us how they were going to efficiently go through this process, give us one round of names. If we wanted more, we'd go through another round. If we wanted more, we would go through another round. And long story short, they came in, provided their offering. We paid them. They walked out the door. It was a perfect consultancy relationship. They came in. They did exactly what they were supposed to. They provided exactly the service that they sold to us, and they walked out the door without trying to sell us another 5 years' worth of services. And if you have experience with consultancy, especially marketing consultancy, you know that those people like to hang around.
Now tell us a little bit about the name. I mean, how you came up with the name, what it was like working with the NameStormers, all that kind of stuff.
Well, to answer that question, you kind of have to look back at how we derived that we even needed a name. What we did when we first launched this company is we kind of looked at the competitors out there, and there are some national competitors, some strong ones. And we looked at the strengths and weaknesses of their organizations and their offering. Many weaknesses and many strengths popped out, and what we basically did is attack the weaknesses. And if you look at many screening companies out there, none of them have a recognizable brand. None of them have a recognizable identity. They're all kind of a negative company, and what I mean by that is they like to scare you into deciding you need to be screened, and they don't really give you the positive spin on why it's so important. So if you add all that together, what Craig and I decided is we wanted to come across as a positive influence in somebody's life, give a lot of education to people, and tell them how there are some scary things out there, but if you do the right things, you can stay ahead of the curve as opposed to behind the curve. And so it was very important to us that we came up with a brand name that was short, very recognizable, very brandable, very positive, and key to that is we had to be able to own the URL. And so we actually tried to come up with a brand ourselves. We actually employed some consultants and brought in people that we trusted, etc. And frankly, that was a disaster. We then moved on to trying to hire some of the best of the best. We talked to, I think, 7 or 8 companies in New York City, supposedly the branding capital of the world, and talked to them about all their offerings. And the unfortunate thing there is all they did is try to sell us this huge package of goods. They didn't want to just provide us the slice we were looking for. They wanted to provide us a package worth $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. And so we actually departed ways with many of those companies and started looking for somebody who specialized in names. And by going online and finding a company called NameStormers, that's how we were introduced to them.